We're going to see now Be'ez Hashem Yisborach Daf Lamed Vav. Lamed Vav. Amud Aleph. Ad kedoim shenaflu b'zeh chazeh. So now we're going back to the sugya that talks about Rabbi Eliezer Achanani Ba. That's talking in a case where you have two pieces of sourdough. One is Trumah and one is chum. And one falls in and that other falls in. So Rabbi Eliezer says that it all depends what's the last one. If the last one is Trumah, it's Aser. They don't both have a power to be machmetz. We say if the last one is Trumah, it's Aser. If the first one is Trumah, it's mutter. The Chum says doesn't matter. It's not a problem. Since each one doesn't have a power to make sour. Now he's asking a question. How about if both of these pieces of sourdough, the Trumah and the Chum, fell in the same moment? What's the halacha? It says like this. It's a shaila in Hilchas Pesach. When can you buy chometz of a goy? Chometz overall of a Pesach, it is aser even from a goy. So when can you buy chometz of a goy? If you want to buy from a house owner, you have to wait 3 weeks of baking. 3 weeks after Pesach. You can assume it's already from the new stuff. It's not from Chometz Ovla Pesach. How about if you want to buy from a bakery, bread from a Goyish bakery? If it's in a big city, after 3 days, 3 days they managed to make already a new production, nothing's left over from the old sourdough from before Pesach. How about if it's a bakery that's in a village? You have to wait till 3 ovens. And that means that they don't bake every single day. So when they use the oven 3 times, that's when you can use the bread. We're going back to explain more details of this halacha. When you said that if you buy bread from homeowners, from Goyish homeowners, you have to wait 3 Shabboses, 3 full weeks. Talking about a guy that actually is a big family, or he makes a wedding and needs to bake a lot, so we assume that each week he used his oven once. Shalosh Shabbos Shalafiyah. Means he actually used the oven 3 days consecutively. What happens if for some reason that he used the oven in 1 day 3 times? Doesn't help. So it's interesting how this is very theoretical, because it sounds here that the villages they don't even use the oven so often. But let's say something happened and just that day you need to use it 3 times. So we say no, it's not going to help you, because it has to be 3 ovens, but only if it's 3 different days. Why? He uses the same sa'oir for the full day. So it's not going to matter that he made 3 different ovens. They use the same sourdough for the morning run, into the afternoon run. So if you want him to make sure that he used up all the sourdough from before Pesach, it's not going to help you that he did 3 runs the same day. That's what he's saying here. So now, finally, we have to write down this whole brayse with all the details of this halacha. We're going to say what we approached from here. Again, we had a shaila. Well, let's begin the question again. Repeat the question. The question was, what's the halacha if it's, according to Rabbi Eliezer, if both fell in the same time, the heter and the issa together? So we're going to say, oisa isa shniya, loy me issa me heter mischametzes. So we're saying here that the last statement we just made, that if you use in the same day, it's not going to work. Even though he uses 3 times or 4 times or 5 times, doesn't matter. You have to wait 3 days. But the question is, the second run, let's say he makes 9 o'clock in the morning, one run, and then 10, then 12 o'clock. So the second time he uses some of the dough. He doesn't use only the sourdough that he had before Pesach. He leaves over some of the dough that he just needed 3 hours ago, and he uses that also to make sour. That's what he's asking here. Oisa isa shniya. So why is it a problem? Why should we say that I'm not sure if he's asking only from this case or from all the cases, because even the case where he bakes it in 3 separate days, why do you say the second day is Osir, for example? Why is the second day Osir? He used the dough, the sourdough from before Pesach, but he also used the sourdough from yesterday. So we see from that, he's the one that is the Tana of this whole thing. I guess because Rabbi Eliezer holds that Chametz Shenachish all about Pesach is Asur Ba'no. So this whole Bryce is Rabbi Eliezer, and even this Rabbi Eliezer that's Machmer holds that it is a problem. If it's Babas Hachas. Rabbi Yossi Lebchanina Antonaya. He said like this: Nehiras, you remember the Avisen Moran at Rabbi Yemi b'Shem Shimon ben Lakish. Used to say over, you and Rabbi Yemi used to say over b'Shem Shimon ben Lakish. He said these words: Man Tana. He said these words: Man Tana Chametz Shon Kutem Rabbi Eliezer. This Tana goes like Rabbi Eliezer. That whole Zev Zeh Goyim is Aser. So we say Vanan Leinon Amrin Kain. We don't say like this. Ella Rav Hillel B'Shem Bal. You said over that statement that goes like Rabbi Eliezer. And then we say Yard L'Chametz Shel Kut Mikra Rabbi Eliezer. I think it's trying to say that it's not directly related to this halacha, that you should be able to prove that Rabbi Eliezer holds that Zev Zegoyim is Oster in such a case where the Isra and Heta together. Because it's just a chumrah, and it's not directly correlated with Rabbi Eliezer. It's a chumrah to, you shouldn't maybe of chametz, you're more machmer, or you didn't want people to buy right after Pesach things from chametz Avodah Pesach. It's not directly related to the din of Zev Zeh Goyim. But even adad, Omer Reb Chanina der Babo ba'aba havale ivde. Shalach shal Reb Chiel Reb Yasser Reb Imer. But even they Reb Eliezer. Ma'ich Reb Imer. Lo yim mishu sheyad chametz shengit Reb Eliezer. Don't you think the reason is because Yardu? In other words, you don't pass like Rabbi Eliezer in the whole Torah. It must be that it's just Yordu. Yordu means it's just you're using him as a smach, but it's not exactly what he says. Just like we say by Taman yes. So it seems a contradiction what you just said now. But maybe he argues with this. Maybe he holds that you have to be machmer and everything like Rabbi Eliezer. I don't know. Let's start a little bit the Mishna, and then we'll stop because it's going to be Daf Amud Aleph. Elo asur and va'oisrim kol shehin. These things are asur, and even a drop of them make asur. Yain nesach, we just had now. Avodah Zarah, if a tiny idol got mixed with 1,000 other pieces that are not idols, just some kind of pictures or these images that are not meant for Avodah Zarah. They got mixed and you can't recognize which ones are Avodah Zarah. Everything has to be thrown into the garbage. They used to take, the Romans used to sacrifice for the gods the heart. They made a split while the animal was alive. They took out the heart, they sacrificed it. So this the halacha is that the skin, the oil becomes asur b'hanor. Shoya niskel, that's a din in the Torah that if an ox kills a person, then it needs to be stoned, and you cannot have a nor from that ox. You cannot sell it. You cannot derive any benefit from the oil, from the leather. That's one of the things that's asur b'hanor. Eglarufa is a parshas shoiftim. You take a young calf and you chop off the head. That's a kapara for a dead body that was found, and you don't know who killed it. Tzipora Metzora, the birds of Metzora, Veseir Nazar, the hair of a Nazar, Petach Hamoy, the firstborn of a donkey, Basar B'chalav, you know that, Chulim Shnishchi Bazara, if you shechted regular animal, the Zarah, it's asur to have any benefit from that, and Yana, Reila Asurim, Ba'oisrim B'kolshem, all these items here, how many items we mentioned, Yain Nesach, Avodah Zarah, Oris Lavuvim, She'an Niskel, Egla Arufa, Sepoyer Metzora, Seir Nazar, Petach Hamoy, Basar B'chalav, B'chon Shit B'chazar, 10 items.